Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome to the channel. And the topic that I'm going to take up today is dreaming big. Now, what is a dream? See friends, dream is not that which we have when we are sleeping. Dreams are those goals, those passions deeply buried inside us which actually do not let us sleep and which has us working hard passionately towards its achievements. Now, see what happens that somewhere down our monotonous and routine lives, we feel that we have to give up on our dreams or now is not the time. But that is not right. That is just the feeling that we have to overcome if we want to actually pursue our dreams and also to achieve those goals that have been set by us. So, as they say that aim for the moon. Well, if you fail, then at least you land among the stars. So that's the idea of dreaming big. When you dream big, then what happens is that even if you fail, then it is not known as a failure. Rather, it is known as a new learning. And there are many of us who like to follow a very routine and monotonous and safe decisions on a daily basis just to avoid the fear of failure. But my dear friends, if you have never tasted failure, then you have never learned anything new. Because failures are, as they say, the stepping stones to success. They are the way you learn new things. Like, I'll give you an example that Edison failed 100 experiments, and his 101st experiment was the light bulb. So, have you ever heard somebody saying that Edison failed 100 experiments, he was a failed person, he was a failed scientist? No, we always hear high praises about him because the 101st attempt led to success, and it has actually changed the entire history of mankind. So these things, these failures should be taken up with so much of enthusiasm and followed so passionately that we turn them into a success. Like many professional courses are there, CA, CS, CW, and children say that, oh, I failed this attempt. It doesn't matter. In 6 months, another attempt is coming up, and I will surely pass. And friends, I tell you this from personal experience that I have given the CA intermediate group two, 3 times, and group one I passed in first attempt, and group two I passed in like 4, 5 attempts. So I can say the subjects that are in was there at that time in my time in group two. I think there were auditing, strategic management, information technology, and a part of advanced accounting. So I can tell you this today that I have more command on those subjects as compared to the subjects of group one which I passed in first attempt. So I never took failure as rejection. I just took it up that with more conviction, with more hard work, I'm going to follow what I want to achieve. And definitely, once you are persistent in your goals, you want to achieve it, then there is nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals. So, age doesn't matter to dream big. Neither you are too young to dream big, nor you are too old. And another important thing is that dreams give rise to hope. Hope inspires effort. Effort results in success. So, dreams are the root cause of success. I would like to share a few examples of successful people who, against all odds, chose to dream big. One such example is Oprah. Like she ventured into acting and then had her own talk show for a while, and now she can be said to be the richest woman on the earth. I was listening to one of her interviews where she said that she was born in a time when black people were not even considered human, and they were treated like slaves. And she herself says in one of her interviews that the only aspiration her relatives and family members had for her was to be a maid. But she said that this is not the lifestyle that I want. This is not what I will choose. I choose to follow my passions of acting. So she was persistent in her choices and eventually emerged as a winner. Then another example I have for you is J.K. Rowling. She was a secretary and would spend more time on writing her books of Harry Potter, and so it eventually led her to getting fired. But after seeing so much of adversity, she finally emerged as a winner, and you can say that as of date, she is one of the most read about or the wealthiest author that we have. Another example is Walt Disney. It actually started out of a garage, and he was fired from his job of being a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination and good ideas. And but he formed his own animation company in 1921, which went bankrupt, leaving him unable to even pay his rent. And if you know him today, then you know that what he has given us is beyond comparison, and he is one of the biggest achiever of his times. Another example is of Stephen King, whose first book was rejected 30 times, and eventually he decided to throw it in the dumpster. But as good fortune would have it, his wife persisted him that no, go ahead with the publication, and eventually he was offered his first deal of publishing a book. And we have to consistently hit on our dreams and our attempts. In childhood, if anybody asks that what is your dream, we would be like immediately ready with an answer. But as you grow and you are conditioned into being more realistic and stop dreaming, and then what happens that you get afraid of even saying out your dreams aloud because you are afraid that people might laugh at you and people might not take your dream seriously, and you might feel that this idea to be very discouraging. Then people because what happens is that we present our big dreams to small minded people, and then of course the kind of reaction we get will ultimately be discouraging. So it is better to work on it, to make your own efforts on achieving your dreams instead of discussing with small-minded people and being discouraged in the now. We all, before starting a new venture or before starting a new company or being an entrepreneur, we compare ourselves with the big MNCs. Like, of course, there's you can say Google is there, then Apple is there, Microsoft, HP, and we look at their scale and like they are multi-billion industries and MNCs. So we can never even expect to fall in the league. So what is important here is that it doesn't matter right now where they have achieved. It has taken them decades to achieve this position of power and affluence that they have as of today. How did they eventually start? They all started from a garage. So that has to be kept in mind, that there has been persistent efforts by the CEOs, the working staff, and that has led to the success. So business or starting an enterprise is not about where you begin. Your beginnings can be really humble, but where you see yourself in the future, where you want to reach in the future, that is important in this aspect of dreams. If your dreams don't excite you, scare you, they are not big enough. Identify why behind the why. Do you want to inspire people? Do you want someone to say, because of what you taught me, I didn't give up? Then, of course, you have to practice. Only one thing makes a dream impossible, that is a fear of failure. Once you are able to overcome your fear of failure and work on that areas which require improvement, I am sure that it will be a revelation to you. Now, we at SMS Lucknow have a vision. This is our long term dream, and that is that to become a constantly growing center of excellence, nurturing global centric professional leadership based on ethical and moral attributes, And to achieve this long term vision, we have also got our mission on which we are working on a daily basis, which is to create excellent learning ambience through innovation in teaching, research, and consultancy for producing professionals capable of answering global challenges and demonstrating high ethical and moral standards. Our quality policy is imparting value-based education of highest standard relevant to the contemporary world. Our guiding values are trust, sense of ownership, sense of contribution, innovation, modesty, and mutual respect. So, friends, I told you that unless you don't have a dream, a goal which you want to achieve, which is big enough to drive you out of your beds on a daily basis, then in my previous session, which I shared the SWOT analysis, it's good that you go through the previous session that I did on SWOT analysis will help you reveal that what are your strengths and areas which need work on, and you can actually design your goals in accordance with those strengths that you have. And well, as they say that aim for the moon, and even if you fail, you might land up among the stars. And it was nice to talk on this session, to talk about dreams. I hope that I have been able to motivate you in a little way, and of course, you'll start working towards your goals and your dreams in making them come true. Because, friends, like I shared some of the success stories with you just now, that dreams do come true. Yes, whatever your dream is, it is achievable. No matter you may not have the resources, maybe you do not have enough talent, but in this institute, what we believe that talents can be created, your skills can be created by working hard enough, and by knowing what to do and being guided by the experts in this college. And I'm sure that once you have chalked out your plan, your roadmap, what you want to achieve, then a daily practice and daily work on those aspects will definitely help you in achieving your dream. Bye, and hope to meet you soon on this channel with the next